What's up YouTube, GoogleGuys2010 here, back with another video. Today I'm going to show you my top 3 best loadouts to use right now in Season 4 Reloaded. By the way, the clips that you're going to see from me testing the guns are going to be in the shooting range and in shipment games. So before we get into today's video, make sure you are liked and subscribed so you never miss a video. Loadout number 1, we have the ISO 45 and the MX Guardian shotgun. And I am going to be running the stim and the throwing knife. My weapon specialist is on weapon specialist, so my perk package is on weapon specialist. You don't have to use this one, that's just the one that I am using, but it's up to your preference. So yeah, let's get into the ISO 45. ISO 45, I'm going to be running the Chrono Mini Pro. You could really actually use the Chrono Mini Red Dot, or you could just go no optic, but I'm going for an optic. So here's my tuning for it. I did up to flinch resistant because it gives me a little more accuracy and just a tiny bit more damage boost. And I tuned it to, and the flinch resistance was up to 1.6, positive 1.6, and for the bottom, I'm making this a little bit of a far range gun, just to get a little more accuracy and a little more range in there, and I tuned that to negative 1.09. For our next attachment is the stock. I use the Demo Fade tack, but you could use any stock. You could change this loadout if you want, but what I tuned it for was 0.52. It gives me a little more mobility, which I like, but I don't want a ton of it. And it really doesn't do anything with else, it just gives us a tiny bit of handling, and that was 0.52. For the bottom, we wanted to do a little aiming stability, so it gives us a little recoil control, but not much, and I tuned that for 1.78. For the next attachment is our rear grip. I used the EXP shader, and we want max recoil steadiness and the sort of max aiming stability, but you could change tuning up if you would like. And the bottom is at 0.33. Now for the next one, we're gonna rock an underbarrel. We're gonna go the F-Tac trigger grip, and we are going to do max recoil stabilization again, and aim locking speed to negative 0.25. The recoil stabilization gives us a lot of more recoil control, but also our aim locking speed could give us a little more accuracy. For our last attachment on this loadout, we are going to use the EXF Hunter Stress 90 muzzle. Again, recoil smoothness wanted at max because we want a whole bunch of that recoil control. And bullet velocity is at 0.65. Recoil smoothness is at max. We want to get as much recoil, as much negative recoil as we can, and bullet velocity just makes us do more damage, so we want all that damage. So now let's go to the secondary. Alrighty, for a secondary, we are running the MX Guardian shotgun, one of the most broken guns in the game right now. So we are going to start off with the long haul 50 muzzle, and here's my tuning. You want max recoil stabilization and max recoil control, because it'll give us all that recoil control and we'll have barely any recoil. You could mix it up if you want, but that's personal preference. This is mine. Then we want to go the VLK LZR 7MW laser. I want a little bit of aim locking steadiness, so I tuned it to about 0.27, and I want aim down sight speed to be fast, so when an enemy is right in front of us, we can just blast them right then and there. So I put the bottom at negative 24.68 and the top is 0.27. As you can see, it gives us a lot of handling and some accuracy, but not a lot. We don't want it to be too far, so I am going to put the Chrono Mini Pro on, but you could do like another attachment. You could go for like a stock, but I want an optic because I don't like the default scope on the MX Guardian, but again, personal preference. For the tuning on that, we want flinch resistant around 0.39, 0.40, around that. And we want this to be close. Since it's a shotgun, we don't want it to shoot far because it's our secondary, so we won't be using it that much. So I put that to around 0.73, 0.75, whichever one you can get closest to. As for the Chrono Mini Pro, for our rear grip, we are going to go Steam SK rear grip. Max recoil steadiness, because we like that recoil. And sprint to fire speed, just so like if we want to go in a, not aim down sight speed, but if we want to go like a hip fire kill, it'll bring our gun out faster and our handling is like at max basically. So it'll be good for aim down sight speed and hip fire kills. And then that'll bring us to our last attachment for this gun, the underbarrel to lock grip precision 40. It is at max hip fire recontrol because again, we want to control that recoil as much as we can, and then aim down sight speed is at negative 0.21. So let's get into the clips of these loadouts. Here's the ISO 45 build. All these bots have 3 plates. So yes, this is a little shaky, but it's not too much. It's good for close. It barely has any recoil. It's the 30 round mag you can go through quick. And then the MX Guardian, yes, you still have a lot of recoil that you could figure out and control yourself. But you want to just try to like control it yourself on your right stick and left stick. So yeah, this is loadout number 1. Let's go to loadout number 2. Alrighty, for loadout number 2 here, we're gonna go the Lockman Sub, aka the MP5 and the Signal 50. Same thing with the other loadout. We're gonna run the Stim, Throwing Knife, and Weapons Specialist for a perk package. Now let's go into the Lockman Sub build. Alrighty, we are gonna start off with the barrel. We are using the L38 Falcon 226 millimeter barrel. Here's my tuning. Again, I know I keep saying this a lot. We want max recoil steadiness, so we can hold that recoil control in as long as we can. And then we want damage range to about 0.28, so we can do the most damage as possible to our enemies. Now we are going to go to the muzzle. I am using the Bruin Cubic Compt muzzle. Again, I'm going to keep repeating myself multiple times throughout these next 2 loadouts. Max recoil stabilization. You guys have already heard me talk enough about that, so I'm not going to talk much on it. And again, max recoil control, so we get that max recoil and your gun isn't like all over the place. Next is the FSS Sharkfin 90 underbarrel. I'm not even gonna say it. Max recoil and aiming ideal stability is about 0.22, or you could go 0.30, but I think for me is 0.22, because then you get a little more accuracy on there, and you don't want this gun to be too far. You just want it in between close range and mid range. And we're gonna throw in the 50 round drum magazine here, just so we have more bullets to shoot, so we don't have to keep reloading. Then we're gonna use the the Lockman S76 factory stock. We're gonna leave the up and down side at 0.0, and we're gonna do aim locking speed to negative 1.78 because it gives us more accuracy, and when we're walking with it, we can actually sprint with it. Alrighty, and that is it for the Lockman sub build. Let's go over to our secondary. Now the secondary is gonna go really quick. I am using the Signal 50, but I am using the Trishula bundle. It was from a free pack a little while ago, and I probably mispronounced that name, so that's my bad. There is no tuning on here, but I've used this build that I got for free, and it is really good. So you want to use the Sight Max Clear Shot Scope Optic. You get 9.5 modification, and it's dual optics, so it'll change into it'll be your normal sniper scope, and then also you can put on the Chrono Mini Pro if you want to get like a close range and hit like a clip or something. Next is the barrel. It is just the 29 TV Kilo 50 barrel. And then for the muzzle is the Bruin L40 Cobra. And then for the ammunition, we're going to use the 50 cal armor piercing rounds. And yeah, from this is actually a pretty good sniper, because see, it has your normal Signal 50 optic here. And then also, if you just press toggle to hybrid, Chrono Mini Pro right there, and then you could just hit someone close range. So yeah, let's go to our third and final loadout. Alright, now as you can see from the gameplay right here, this SMG is actually really good, and it moves pretty fast, honestly, and the aim down sight speed to get the gun up is actually really, really good. So let's go on to loadout number 3. Okay, so here's our third and final loadout. We are going to be running the M4 in the same Lockman aka MP5 build that we were using before, so I'm not going to go over the secondary, I'm just going to do the primary on this one. But again, same thing, I'm running in the tactical, the stim, except I'm going to change the throwing knife into a frag grenade, so I can just throw a grenade inside a window if someone is there. Same perk package, weapon specialist, but you could change that up if you want. Yeah, let's go into the M4 build. Okay, so this M4 build, it absolutely fries. I was using it all day today, and man, I just hit all of my shots. So enough of me talking, and let's go into this. So I know I've used the Chrono Mini Pro a lot in like on every single gun in these builds. It's just my favorite optic, but on this, you could go Chrono Mini Pro or a secondary one, or a second option if you want, is the Aim Op V4. That one's really good, but I just love the Chrono Mini Pro, so I'm gonna go Chrono Mini Pro. So here's the Chrono Mini Pro tuning. I tuned it for about negative 2.3. So it could, our aim down sight speed is fast, and I tuned it for about negative 2.25 for the eye position, so you could get those far range shots, but it'll also be good for close range and medium range too. And nothing really changed in the middle because of my tunes, but go ahead and tune them however you want. For our next is the second ZX grip. The tune is, not even gonna say it again, okay, I'm gonna say it again. Max recoil steadiness, and that is +1 on the dot, which will give us that as max as it can go recoil steadiness. Then we're gonna do sprint to fire speed. So when we're sprinting, we could sprint as fast as we possibly can go. We could go all the way around the block. We could go anywhere. We could go to the store within 5 seconds with this. And basically it just changed our recoil to make it as powerful as we could. Then throw on the 60 round mag. I think it's good, but otherwise you could throw on the 45 round mag to make you run even faster, but I prefer the 60 round. For our underbarrel is the lock grip precision 40 again. We are going to do tuning to hipfire recontrol 0.52. So it'll give us a little bit of recoil, not too much, because trust me, this loadout fries. You don't need as much recoil as this. I just put together some tunes. It came out as perfect as can be. For the next one is our hipfire accuracy. We want that at positive 0.19, and it'll give us a little more accuracy, but we don't want too much since our optic is max at far. So that brings us to our final attachment, which is the Echoline GSX muzzle. Max recoil smoothness is 1.40. Then we want to bring it over to plus 0.45 for our bullet velocity. Recoil, it gives us a little more, but this is controlled pretty good. And bullet velocity, it just makes our bullets shoot a little faster. And I'm not going to go over this because it's the same exact build that I just showed you. So I'm just going to show you guys how the M4 shoots. So we are in the firing range. This is how the M4 will shoot. These dummies are on 3 plates. So yeah, let's go. Look at that recoil. You just have to control it a little bit with your right and left stick. But like not even. I don't even have to mount. And it shoots pretty good. You barely have to control it. And yeah, let's try to get this far range kill quick. It's a little shakier on far range, so I think it's a little... If you were using the AIM LPV4, you would be able to get that guy down there easily, but otherwise if you're using the Cronin Mini Pro, the medium range is the top 3 loadouts for Season 4 Reloaded. I appreciate whoever watched it, and let me know in the comments if you guys tried any of the loadouts, and I hope you guys like them as I do, and yeah, hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.